is pleased to bring you our feature presentation.
Have to return some videotapes. 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 Have to return some videotapes.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Strange Glow Video. My name is Justin. With me as always is my co-host extraordinaire, Alec. How you doing?
Good. We also are joined by Darwin for probably the remainder of everything on this. Maybe Yoshi might stop by too.
Well, they're in the room, so I'd imagine you'll probably see them.
So we're going to be looking back at 2024 in a year of entertainment and film. Some of that it will be a talk about the past, our little trip we made to New York City, and our top 10 films of the year.
Yeah, so this year, man, just looking back to compile this list was a little daunting because I watched a lot more movies than I thought I did. And then when I was going through my list and verifying that I'd had everything correctly listed, because I've been using the Letterboxd app to try to track most of my movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I realized there's probably at least 10 I didn't add in the log this year.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, damn, I got to get better about that.
I haven't been, I'll use Letterboxd for like 1 week out of every year for the last like 2 or 3 years. And then I'm like,
I'm watching so much stuff. I just kind of want to log it that way. I know if I've seen it before. So
yeah, I get it. I watched, I think 21 movies released this year when I counted them in total, which I thought it seemed like I watched a lot, which that's almost 2 a month still. And there were a couple in there that I wanted to see but didn't. And there's probably some streaming movies that I'm forgetting as well.
Yeah, I got 27 on my list of what I watched. And then I've got a whole list of shit that I didn't get to watch yet that's on my to-watch list. So
give me both of those lists.
You want those right now for that I haven't seen yet?
Yeah.
Okay. So my list of movies to watch is Y2K.
I would like to see that. I'm interested mildly.
Yeah. Werewolves.
Yep, same.
Dune Part 2.
No interest for me, but yeah.
I've heard a lot of people say interesting things about it, so...
I didn't see the first one yet, so...
Neither did I, but...
I've only seen the David Lynch one.
Now that they're... Yeah, me too. So that's why I'm willing to give those two a shot now. Long Legs, I didn't get to see.
I saw that.
Civil War, I didn't get to see.
I saw that. Actually, that came out this year?
Yeah. Yeah, that came out like because that was going on right before the election. I feel like that was a fall movie or a late summer movie. My Old Ass. It's an Aubrey Plaza movie.
I know what you're talking about. I saw the trailers for that. That looked mildly interesting.
Yeah. Bad Boys Ride or Die. Just because I've seen the other ones.
I haven't.
Okay.
They're a blind spot for me.
Maxine.
I did see that. Recommend.
Yeah, I know. I'm just, it was one of those that I missed, and I just haven't been able to catch it yet.
It's on HBO Max.
Yeah, I don't have HBO Max at the moment, so. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I did not get to see that, so.
I liked that too.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. Like, I know we covered the other stuff leading into it. I just didn't get a chance to go see it, so.
Yeah.
I saw the TV Glow.
I wanted to see that. Didn't see that.
Salem's Lot, which was released sometime this fall in streaming. I think that's on Paramount, is it not?
I think so. I heard mid things about it. Haven't watched it yet either.
Yeah. And then Nosferatu. Obviously, that just came out, but I haven't had a chance to see it yet.
So there was also Stream, I think it was called.
Yeah, that was on there.
Fire people.
And then there was a VHS sequel too that I didn't watch yet.
And then I haven't seen any of the VHS movies. You'd think I would, but
yeah.
Then there was also that AI movie about the AI house.
Oh, okay.
It was a Blumhouse horror movie that was very limited, and I never saw it in theaters around here without like having to pay extra on top of my membership.
There's so much.
Yeah.
That's just stuff I want to see that I didn't see. Do you want me to name off the 27 movies I did see?
Yeah, let's go for it because there might be some that I'm forgetting. Like Civil War, I did see, so that's 22 right there already.
Obviously, Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire, The Substance, Twisters, Late Night with the Devil, Heretic,
I didn't see
Furiosa,
that. I wanted to.
Furiosa, Trap, Deadpool and Wolverine, Strange Darling, Terrifier 3, Saturday Night, Alien Romulus,
I didn't see Saturday Night. I wanted to bad, but I never got around to it.
Beetlejuice, Speak No Evil,
Didn't
Carry
see,
On,
didn't see that.
430 movie, or did I? No, I already said that. Dear Santa,
Didn't see that.
The Instigators,
Didn't see that.
Lisa Frankenstein, Mr. Crockett.
Did not see that. What the fuck is that?
It's a streaming horror movie, but it's entertaining.
Oh,
A Quiet Place Day 1,
Hmm.
Godzilla and Kong, The New Empire.
I still haven't seen that. I've seen it on streaming, and I'm just like, I don't know if it's worth it yet.
Oh yeah, it was worth checking out. Abigail, Beverly Hills Cop, Axel F, Chiefsaholic, Unfrosted, Night Swim, and there's probably a few that I didn't get onto that list, but that's the 27 that I know I watched. So
Interesting. Darwin, stop biting my headphone cable, please. We don't need an incident here.
and obviously none of this includes any movies that weren't released in 2024, right? I have a shitload of those that I watched this year too.
Yeah, for sure.
And an
Always
assload of
watching new
TV
stuff.
shows. Lots of movies, lots of TV
Hey.
shows.
Stop. God, they're unplugging things. They're just schwacking cables.
Yeah, they're doing their best. They're being good kitties.
Take
Good
this shit
kitty,
off
kitty,
the
kitty,
fucking
kitty.
air, bro.
Yeah. So what's your movies you've seen this year?
Hold on, I have to pull up a folder. I have all the posters saved, actually.
Oh, nice.
I did a video on my channel where I ranked everything I've seen already, but it's a tier list, so there's lots of things that are ambiguous, and most people who are watching this now haven't seen that. So,
Oh, okay.
Beetlejuice, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Quiet Place Day 1, Alien Romulus, the 430 movie, Trap, In a Violent Nature, Strange Darling, Maxine, Ghostbusters Frozen Empire, Abigail, Twisters, Your Monster, Furiosa, Terrifier 3, Lisa Frankenstein, Deadpool and Wolverine, Nosferatu, Late Night with the Devil, Long Legs, and The Substance.
Okay.
And I guess Civil War.
Nice. So we watched a lot of movies this year.
There's actually
And
one I'm realizing now.
you forget one?
Well, yeah, I meant to put on here that I didn't.
That sucks, doesn't it? You're like, shit.
I gotta switch out that for that. Hopefully.
Because when I first started throwing my list together, I just wrote out every movie that I remembered seeing. So I had like 12 or 13 on there.
Yeah.
And then I go through and I check my AMC Stubs Pass to check all my tickets in there. And then I checked my Letterboxd in there. And then I was like, okay, what did I see at the drive-in that I didn't see at these other places too? So it was like, damn,
I went through the list
intense.
of 2024 released movies and was like, all right, I saw this.
Yeah, IMDb had a list that was over 400 movies long.
Yeah, because when I looked on Wikipedia on like American films released in 2024, The Substance wasn't on there. Like there was some stuff I don't think that was listed in there. It was weird.
I went IMDb all the way, and then I did check horror as its own category on there, and IMDb only had 83 listed. So I was like, there's got to be more independent horror that didn't make that list on there, but hard to say.
Yeah.
So we started this year off pretty dull and quiet, right? January was pretty quiet for movies. So was February.
Yeah.
I mean, there was some releases in there,
I think Lisa Frankenstein was February.
I think Lisa Frankenstein was early in the year. So was Late Night with the Devil. So was Godzilla and
Ghostbusters.
Yeah, Ghostbusters was March, but I'm just thinking things before that trip. And then
Well,
obviously,
Late Night with the Devil was after.
it was okay.
Yeah. At least by the time we saw it. It might have had some theatrical run before that, but like we didn't see it because it wasn't on till we saw it streaming.
Well, yeah, like the movie Strange Darling was technically released in 23 because it was a very limited release.
Yeah.
So I'm going by movies that had a wide release or were available
Yeah, for
easily in
sure.
24. So then we got to go to New York for the Frozen Empire premiere, which, fuck, that was such a good trip, man.
Yeah. Still, I mean, we've done that trip twice now and was solid both times.
Each trip was amazing for its own reasons. And, you know, I thought the second trip was going to be very similar to the first trip as far as some of the sightseeing and some of the things we did. And there was some overlap there, but it was completely unique. So,
yeah. That was a fun time. We did lots of videos on it. You should check those out if you haven't seen them yet.
Yeah.
There's a couple of them. There's a one that's just big, like lots of coverage from the whole event and everything. It shows all our interactions with everybody and introduction to the movie. Then there's another one that's more like a vlog style one. And there's a couple excerpts on just the interviews and then little bits of like the Ecto Z and shit.
Yeah, that was it's a hell of a trip. I mean, just seeing all the cast and crew that we ran into out there was pretty awesome, and all the friends, obviously, all the acquaintances that we were meeting for the first time in person.
Yeah.
I feel like the Afterlife trip, we knew a lot of people, and I felt like at FanFest, I knew a fair amount of people, but like every time, the number of people you recognize by name and in person just keeps growing and growing and gets so much better. So it's pretty fascinating. And then, you know, I guess last winter, what got us through the holiday season was the toy hunt leading up to Frozen Empire. Because I remember last Christmas break with the kids, like the Fright Features line of figures started hitting. And I mean that by the modern Fright Features line, not the re-release. So, and that started hitting, like we started seeing those things and the Ecto or the mini puffs and the Slimers. Sorry, I try not to sneeze.
Oh, well, it's about time to get into this list.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. I guess I can start. My number 10, which I'm going to have to speak about without spoiling because it's pretty new. Nosferatu.
Okay.
So this made the list. It's not my favorite of the year, but I definitely think it's going to be one of the most memorable. It's more artsy horror, obviously. It's honestly, it was great. There's things that people are going to not like about it. There's things that are wildly different, but if you know Robert Eggers,
Nosferatu,
yeah, you know what's up. Like he knows what he's doing historically, so that's what you have to take into account when you watch that.
Yeah, well, and the concept of Nosferatu is fascinating anyway because they wanted to make Dracula based off of Bram Stoker's, but they didn't. Oh, you got the popcorn bucket.
I had to. It's just too cool, man.
Sarcophagus. That's pretty cool.
It even has rats on the inside.
Oh, hell yeah.
The lid fully comes off. Like this is how it really looks in the movie. So all the detail they like show up close is on the popcorn tin, and it's like embossed tin. So,
oh, nice.
It was $25 at the AMC, $40 on their online store. So, just goes to show you.
Yeah, it's an interesting time for movies because, you know, when we talk about movies overall, like this year, movies recovered pretty solid, I would say. There's a lot of good movies out there, but I still don't think attendance has ever climbed back up to where it was pre-pandemic.
No, but I do think it's interesting how we're getting all these popcorn buckets now. Like they've been doing popcorn buckets specialty for a while now, like probably 10, 15 years plus. But they weren't like this. They were usually just like regular tins with like printed designs and stuff.
Yeah, they're very basic or
maybe
whatever
a drink
else.
topper or something. That's about it.
Now they've really gone up next level, and the theaters all have good merch sites now. And a lot of that stuff they're carrying in theaters now too to get you in their exclusives that you can't find in retail. Hell, sometimes the theaters have more movie merch than any place else, unless you were to go to, like, say, a Hot Topic or an FYE or something.
Yeah, I was at AMC. I almost bought the One Ring. They had the One Ring from Lord of the Rings there, just because they have that new Lord of the Rings movie. So they had like a ring on a necklace for you. You could have, and I was like, damn, I want that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Didn't get it, but I did get the sarcophagus tin. I was going to say, let's talk about the popcorn tins that came out this year, or the ones that we own. We both have that Afterlife popcorn tin, and then you got the Trap one this year, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then I just got the mini puffed drink cup this year.
Yeah, I did.
And then I got the Beetlejuice handbook for recently deceased, the Deadpool versus Wolverine blowjob head.
Yeah.
And this sarcophagus tin here. I think that's it.
Yeah, I only have the Ghostbusters ones, but my collection space is limited, so I'm having to be very particular with my purchases.
Well, the sarcophagus is just too cool. Same with the handbook for the recently deceased. Now, the Deadpool versus Wolverine head is in my storage unit.
Yeah, well, the handbook for the recently deceased, I actually bought an original copy book of that.
Yeah.
And I've converted it. Now, I've still got some painting to do and some lettering, but for the most part, it's like screen accurate to the first movie. As far as it's the same book that they used for the basis of it.
Yeah. So what's your number 10? Are we going to...
Yeah. We got sidetracked on popcorn. My number 10 was Alien Romulus.
Okay.
I enjoyed that. So that just cracked the list there for me.
Well, just because that's my number 9, let's talk about Alien Romulus. So,
yeah.
If I was to rank the Alien movies, just like my top 4 or whatever, it would be Aliens, Prometheus, Alien Romulus, in that order.
See, I liked Alien Romulus a little bit more than Prometheus. Now, Prometheus is good. The first time I watched it, I wasn't really sold on it, but I've watched it 2 or 3 times since then, and each viewing gets more enjoyable for me, which is interesting. But for me, like, if I don't like it that much off the gate, that's why I put Romulus ahead, because I liked Romulus immediately. So.
Yeah. I was weary on Romulus, but I was excited.
I'm worried about
the TV
Prometheus
show so much. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm worried about the TV show, so we'll hold our breaths on that one. All right, so your 9 was Romulus. So my number 9 was Saturday Night.
Nice.
As a huge fan of Saturday Night Live, grew up watching that show. You know, I remember, I want to say Comedy Central used to show reruns of that. And so I remember seeing a rerun of that and George Carlin hosting it and being like, wow, that was the first episode. That's fucking wild.
Yeah.
And I think I saw that when I was a teenager, probably living at our parents' house. It's like showing it as a rerun then. And like that stood with me. But I always remember growing up watching SNL and like seeing those skits, you know, with their parents.
Yeah.
And then I got into it on my own, you know. So
when I started buying a bunch of DVDs, they had started releasing the SNL seasons. And they were like $30 for a season, but I bought the first season and I was like, I'm going to buy them all as they come out. That's the only one I own still to this day.
Yeah.
But I would like to own some of those, but like, that's the thing is there's so much of it and those are streaming. I'm like, I don't feel like I need to own every season of that personally, but the first season is a good thing to have. I mean, just for, like you're saying it's fucking, the first episode is hosted by George Carlin and that's why I wanted to see that movie. I didn't get to see that movie, but like I was very interested in it. I'm going to watch it sometime whenever it's available to stream, and then I'll debate if I'm going to purchase it or not. But I heard that Chevy Chase wasn't a fan recently, which is just funny.
Oh, the movie?
Yeah.
Chevy Chase doesn't really fucking like anything or anyone, so no surprise there.
Yeah. He kind of sucks these days.
No, he's always sucked. I mean, he's fucking hilarious, but he's kind of always been an asshole.
Yeah.
And the fact that like him and Bill Murray got into it, right? And Bill Murray's kind of an asshole too. Just as far as not wanting to be pestered about stuff, right? And I get that to some degree, but the thing that was funny about Chevy Chase is, you know, he thought he was so big and so much better than SNL that he left, and then all of his fucking movies flopped for a while. It's like, damn. So, but yeah, if you haven't seen SNL or Saturday Night, I should say, check it out because it's a good movie. But if you haven't watched the first episode of SNL, that is a must watch before you go see this. It's going to make it that much more enjoyable for you.
Well, I still want to see it, and I want to watch the episode after or before. I haven't decided, but I've seen it a million times. It's just I want to refresh, so I'll probably watch it after. Since I've seen it before, I'll be familiar. My number 8 is one you haven't seen, Longlegs.
Nice. Okay.
So Longlegs is like, if I was to just describe it really easily, I'd say it's a David Lynchy wannabe Silence of the Lambs.
Okay.
It has very interesting shots. There's a lot of devil worshipy shit. Very glam rocky. Lots of T-Rex on the soundtrack.
Nice.
Nicolas Cage, obviously. Micah Monroe, is that her name? Girl from It Follows as the lead detective there.
Okay.
She was also in the Independence Day sequel as the president's daughter.
Nice. Okay.
Yeah, so Longlegs, worth checking out for sure. I have the Blu-ray I picked it up on.
Yeah, that's on my list of things to watch. You know, there's some of this I'm just waiting for streaming to hit so I can see it. So,
yeah.
But yeah, my number 8 was Terrifier 3. So
Solid
I enjoyed
movie.
that. It was good. I enjoyed it quite a bit. Real fucking gnarly. There was so much good horror this year, though, man. It was really tough for me to kind of slot some of these.
Literally 9 out of 10 of mine can be classified as a horror movie in some way.
Yeah. And it was tough to choose where each of these went. But some of these I go by rewatchability, right?
Yeah.
Terrifier 3 is very much body horror, which is the only thing that grosses me out. Nothing really scares me anymore. It's like, but is it fun to watch?
Yeah.
And that was unsettling to watch because it's so gory. And
I saw it twice in theaters, and I bought the 4K Steelbook, and I've watched it on Christmas night. So if that says anything.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was good. Hit the top 10. So shout out to Terrifier 3 there for that. What was your number 8?
My number 7 was Strange Darling.
No shit. That's my number 7.
There we go. Equal ranking there.
Yeah.
I quite enjoyed this. Kyle Gallner. You just had to show me him in that trailer, and I was sold on seeing the movie at least. And I suspected that there was some trickery going on. I don't remember if it was some sort of spoilery stuff I saw online or what, but I knew that the plot was going to be twisty. And by the time I was watching the movie, I was like, oh, okay, I know what's going to happen here. It's very interesting to see it play out still, though. It's like the first time I watched The Sixth Sense. I had already seen 50 First Dates and like other stuff that spoils the ending. So,
yeah.
But it was still fun.
Yeah. Well, getting there to that. Yeah.
Stop biting the microphone cable.
I think I'd only seen the trailer once or twice for that. And so, you know, it kind of tells you what's going to happen to your point, but it was so good. And the way it was divided up into little chapters made it very unique. And the tonal differences that jump on throughout that movie, like, you know, I would say all the hotel scenes were very fucking interesting, fucking fascinating. And then like the other scenes that are like kind of out in the open are
very triggering stuff for sexual assault victims, though.
Yes, absolutely. That is, I mean, that is the one thing with a movie like that, right?
I mean, and eventually there's a twist that kind of like eases you a little bit about it, but like also still fucked up to watch.
Well, yeah. I mean, hopefully if you're going to see that, you know ahead of time that it could be triggering, right? So,
yeah.
But there's some unsettling shit in that movie for sure.
So my number 6 is Maxine.
Okay. Nice.
So this took the Maxine character to the 80s, trying to be in a Hollywood movie, but essentially tied in with some Night Stalker-y killer shit. I'm trying not to spoil it for you since you haven't seen it, but there's let me just say there's like a scene of blank VHS tape stacked that gets splattered with blood at one point. Like it's aesthetically very pleasing, reminds me and other people, and it's heavily influenced by giallo horror. So stuff like Suspiria, like the lighting and the blood, felt very Italian horror 80s stuff.
Okay.
Just very good.
Where would you rate that within that trilogy of movies then?
It's still number 2 for me, although
Okay.
I think it would be number 1 if X just wasn't so good. Now I don't think X is like super groundbreaking or anything. Like, yeah, Maxine might be a little more well written, but
Okay.
X has some really interesting elements that are smart and stuff, but at the same time, it just feels like a porno version of Texas Chainsaw. So
Yeah.
it can be reduced to that, but also I think there's some brilliant things done with like the age and all that stuff, being past your prime and wanting to kill people because of that, because you're fucking jealous of their body and how they're living their life and how you didn't get to live yours, essentially.
Yeah. I think there's some good commentary in there and stuff that really makes you think that the Texas Chainsaw doesn't. The Texas Chainsaw is just a fucking classic slasher, right? And I'm
So
not to
yeah.
discard that, but
So when I say that, Maxine has less of that brilliance, but overall feels a little less schlocky. I don't know.
okay.
There's an element of it that feels like a crime thriller, but also like a slasher, but also giallo. It's very interesting. I don't know.
Okay. That's definitely on the list. My number 6 was Furiosa.
Which is my number 5. So let's get into it.
Yeah, Furiosa. That was so good when we saw that. It's a very long movie, but it's justified. I mean, the story really sets it up to take place, and like I didn't expect. I would say that first third of the movie to that first half of the movie to have so much backstory in it. I mean, it really truly tells a long story of this person. And they could have split this up into 2 had they wanted to.
Yeah, it was a whole
I
saga.
I just don't feel like there was a good splitting point in this story to make it 2 movies. And it was really fucking good start to finish, and it really just went so well hand in hand with Fury Road. So
Yeah, Fury Road is, I think, a 5 out of 5 movie, and Furiosa, I think, was a 4.5 out of 5 for me. So
yeah,
it's
it
like
was.
it's just a slight bit worse, but not like in any super high and noticeable way.
Mhm.
But yeah, I loved it, and I got the Blu-ray for that as well.
Nice.
Now I'm thinking I could have got the 4K, but hey, whatever.
Well,
What's
all
your number
right.
5 then?
My number 5 was Twisters.
Twisters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I enjoyed that quite a bit. I saw it a couple of times. Let's see, I saw it at the drive-in, then I saw it in theaters. I don't know if I saw that 2 or 3 times when it was out in theaters. Then I've got the 4K on it, and I just love Twister so much, and Twisters felt like a pretty worthy sequel. It felt in universe, so it didn't have to rehash every little detail from the original. So I got a kick out of it.
Hello, Tony in the chat. Hey, sorry I'm late. It's all right. We're doing our top 5 right now. My number 5 was Furiosa, and Justin's was I already forgot.
Twisters.
Twisters. There you go.
Yeah. All right. What's
So
your number 4?
My number 4 is Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire.
Okay.
We are doing well, Tony. Hope you are as well. So Ghostbusters: Frozen Empire is my number 4. Some part of me is definitely biased in this because we went to that premiere. There's just no way I couldn't be. But also, I think it was a little bit better than Afterlife. I get why people wouldn't say or think that it is, but personally, that's how I want a Ghostbusters movie to be. Yeah, so that's it. Number 4.
Okay. My number 4 was The Heretic. That fucking movie was so well written. It was so well written. And I was rooting for the bad guy the whole time. Just as a fucking atheist myself, like hearing him go on about all this religious shit and like really tearing it down. And it was really well fucking written because the research they did to do all that, like there's a fair amount of accuracy to some of those things. And the feelings that it evokes from people, I think. And then having known Mormons, because our sister was Mormon for a while and had all the missionaries coming by and like all that kind of stuff, it was fascinating to see that play out, and I really enjoyed that movie.
Yeah. I didn't see that one, but
Oh man, you fucking need to. It's good.
I wanted to.
Yeah. All right. So what's your number 3?
My number 3 is Terrifier 3.
Okay.
It's a Terrifier Christmas. Yeah, no, I love Christmas horror movies in general, and this one just is everything you'd want out of a Christmas horror movie. Yeah, down to the head being in the angel on the tree, the severed head. So yeah, Terrifier 3. What else can you say? I've talked about it a lot recently. Hey, stop chewing the headphone.
But yeah, my number 3 was Ghostbusters Frozen Empire. So like many of the things you said, for me, this movie is very rewatchable. The characters are great. The new characters are great. I know a lot of people thought there was too many people in this movie.
Yeah.
And I mean, sure. But a thing about a good movie, especially in a franchise, is it makes me want to see more of these characters. So the characters that we didn't get enough time with, you really want to see more of. So Lars, you would definitely want to see more Lars, right? You want to see more of those characters. And I had so much fun on that trip, but this movie is much more rewatchable than Afterlife. And I've watched Afterlife a lot.
Be nice. Sorry, he's murdering me. Yeah.
I mean, I've watched Afterlife since it came out. I've probably seen it 15 to 20 times, I would say.
I have definitely seen it less than 10 times, probably like 6 times, maybe.
Okay, yeah.
7 times tops.
No, but I was watching it just to kind of get it in that wheelhouse with the other two, So, but yeah, Frozen Empire was great. I'm looking forward to more content Ghostbusters wise, and there's obviously room to make other great stories from here. I feel like that just left things open in ways that they could do new fun stuff. So
yeah,
very happy with it. It's fun. And even some of the things that like I just think about on paper in that movie that you could think could be really fucking cringeworthy were pretty well pulled off.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some dialogue in there that I'm like, ugh, but only a couple lines that come to mind when I think about it. I have way less gripes with this than I do with Afterlife when I think about things that stress me out or annoy me while watching it. So what's your number 2?
Number 2, Late Night with the Devil.
Shit, then our top 2 are going to be the same then.
Probably.
Yep.
So let's talk Late Night with the Devil, which was, until I saw the number 1, was going to be my number 1.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was thinking all year. Because Late Night, as Conan O'Brien fans, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The concept of this is perfect. It was so appealing.
I spent so much time growing up with one of my best friends, Joel, and like no matter what we were doing, if it was Friday night, we were watching Leno and then Conan. And if it was Saturday night, we were watching Saturday Night Live. And to go see a movie like this that fit that style, that genre, but it felt older, right? But it had all those vibes. And it was so good.
Yeah.
And it was just unique horror, right? It didn't remind me of anything I'd seen before.
Yeah.
There was lots of elements into it. It felt really fresh for a movie in 2024 because let's face it, like damn near anything awesome in horror has been done to some degree or another.
Well, that's the thing. This movie, because of this movie, I was made aware of the WNUF Halloween special, which is on Shudder, I think, if you haven't seen it. But also, I think Terror Vision has released VHS and Blu-rays of it. But
Okay,
it's like a news broadcast from the early 90s or late 80s. I can't remember when it's supposed to be exactly. Filled with not actual, but fake commercials from everything to pumpkin patches to just everything you'd want to see on a fall commercial, like compilation. But it's not just a commercial compilation. There's like an actual story about a haunted house where the news journalists are investigating.
Okay.
Which also brings me to Ghost Watch, which is a British broadcast TV movie that was like made to look real, that they broadcast and like freaked people out, and then it never broadcast again.
Oh,
And
okay.
had a home as a cult thing essentially, and now it's big in like America even. So
Nice. Yeah, I can appreciate that.
those are more similar than Late Night with the Devil, but I did see people
Yeah.
saying like Late Night with the Devil's just ripping off WNUF. I'm like, you mean the thing that's ripping off Ghostwatch? But either way,
Yeah.
I don't care. They're all fun. I like them all. So
Well, but is it ripping it off because it didn't try to fool people, right? I mean, same thing with the Blair Witch. That marketing campaign for that movie tried to trick you,
right.
right? And so when you're having to rely on the novelty of tricking people, can it be that good? Like Late Night with the Devil, I knew what I was going into, so I knew that I knew what I was going to see, you know.
Yeah.
And so those other ones, like, would they be good if you didn't have that expectation, right?
Yeah.
So I think that has some dealings of that, but everyone's entitled to their own opinion. So
Tony said, I love both Frozen Empire and Afterlife, just not enough ghost capturing scenes in Frozen Empire. Other than that, it was good.
yeah, you're right there.
We could have just done with a montage, but I think there was, if you're just talking about like there's the bust at the beginning, obviously. Well, there's the firefighter scene at the beginning. That doesn't necessarily qualify. But then there's the bust scene with the sewer dragon. Then there's the scene where Phoebe and Podcast show up to the whatever the fuck.
Melody's Diner.
Yeah. I'm just kind of like briefly trying to think about this and not talk about it too much. But I don't know. Yeah, I could see that. That's the one thing 2016's got going for it. And VHS Mikey says, howdy, media fam. We're going to need a montage.
Yeah, a montage would have gone a long way in that movie to make it a little bit more epic. But, you know, we got the RTV, we got the drone trap. We didn't see a lot of regular traps in there. You know, we saw a little bit, I think, what was it? She rolls one out when she's trying to bust Karaka. But was that in the trailer or was that cut from the movie? I have...
Talk if I know.
Yeah, my mind just wanders there because I'm like, okay, we watched the trailers, a lot of this ahead of time, dissecting it, that like some of the stuff that was in the trailer that didn't hit the final movie is like still just in my head as having happened. So
yeah.
But yeah.
Hold on.
All right.
Before we announce the number one pick for both of us, I want to get some music going here.
Okay.
The number one film for, I'm assuming you as well, is The Substance.
Yeah. God damn, that was a good fucking movie, man.
Oh, yeah.
That movie was way better than it had any right being.
Oh. For sure. My favorite movie of the year.
Yeah, hands down. That was so fucking good.
Yeah, I have the VHS release from Death by VHS here.
Oh, that's such a fucking great case, too.
Yeah. Even got the media logo on there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I watched this. I actually did a full review of this on my Ecto Violence channel, just talking about the scan and everything, because they actually panned and scanned it like by hand and shit. So awesome shit. The 4K comes out this month, and I'm supposed to be getting that for my birthday, I think. So
nice. Yeah, so The Substance, right? The first trailer I saw for that, I was like, okay, this looks fascinating.
Yeah. When did we saw the sub trailer for that with 4:30 movie, which didn't make it to either of our lists, but it's an honorable mention. I had a good time with it.
Oh hell yeah! I know I enjoyed that movie. The nostalgia of it for me was there. I just haven't rewatched it yet.
Yeah. But The Substance, I've watched that tape. Obviously, I had to. I was like, I'm dying to rewatch this movie.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, that was so good, and the writing on that was amazing.
the music, the execution, the performances,
Yeah,
from
the
Margaret Qualley and Demi Moore, and then obviously Dennis Quaid. But
yeah, and he's so disgusting in that when he's eating.
it's
Like
just
it literally fucking makes you angry to watch his character, and he's such an asshole.
yeah, I feel
Plays
like
that
that's
role
just
perfect.
Dennis. Exactly, he's kind of an asshole. I feel like in general now.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, he knocked that role out of the park just by being so good at being that monster. And then this movie like just plays on like, okay, is this going to go like sci-fi, and then it just truly goes into body horror,
yeah,
right? Because this could easily just they could have played this straight and just done a sci-fi movie with this, and you'd been like, okay,
genuinely, this is the ladies' version of Videodrome. This is Videodrome plus Death Becomes Her.
yeah,
It's everything I've ever wanted in a movie.
it is so good, and it was so fresh. I mean, it didn't feel like anything I'd ever seen before. The score to that thing knocked it out of the park. Like it was gratuitous in a way that was just fucking satire. And so many people would probably see this and not understand that so much of this is satire, like because it looks very exploitative of like the women in this movie. But it's
I read
very
somewhere that Margaret Qualley actually wore fake boobs.
oh really? Okay.
Yeah, which is interesting. I don't think Demi Moore did, but maybe she did
Yeah.
too. I don't know. They all looked real. I'll tell you that.
Yeah. One way or the other. But like I was saying, it just seems so gratuitous
Yeah.
and in your face with everything. And like even the shots of like the dancing and the music, it felt so much of like all those shitty fucking infomercials from the 90s that would like just play all fucking night.
Yeah. That's the
Uh,
thing. There was a vibe of it that was obviously retro influenced and everything. I
mhm.
like that too. It just the way it was shot. I mean, I've seen shots of it compared to everything from The Shining to Mulholland Drive, and like it was peak
I mean,
filmmaking.
start to finish, I mean, I don't think there's a lot you could criticize on this movie. The score is amazing. The performances are amazing. The sets are amazing. The cinematography is amazing. The lighting, the fucking colors, color saturations, like so many things about this movie were just fucking phenomenal.
Yeah, I can't praise it enough.
Yeah, if you have not seen The Substance, stop what you're doing and go watch it because it's fucking good.
I think the only way to watch it now is on Mubi, the app. But
Okay.
they produced it too. They like are the ones who bought distribution rights for it because they were
Mhm.
shopping the movie around, I guess.
Yeah, and I'm happy that that hit theaters. Like that seems like one that was probably kind of like right on the edge of not hitting theaters because that was a limited release.
It's incredible.
Yeah. No, there's a lot of good fucking movies this year. Um, so if you were to do like a couple other slots on there, what would you throw in those other slots?
Let's see.
Like 3 honorable mentions. Let's hear your 3 honorable mentions that you didn't get to include here.
In a Violent Nature.
Okay.
Abigail, maybe.
Okay.
Your Monster was good. Lisa Frankenstein was good. Shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Trap, I wanted to like more, but kind of fell short. 4:30 movie, I liked enough, for that style of
Hmm.
movie. Quiet Place Day One was good, but I just don't give a shit about those movies. I think that's the best one out of them, though. Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I liked, and Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice was fine. It's
That
all
was
right.
my thing. There's a couple of movies on here that I did want to talk about because they didn't hit the top 10. And you would have expected them to, just out of a couple of those things, right?
Right. There's just no way I couldn't include a Ghostbusters movie. Just
Yeah.
wasn't going to happen. But
Well, I mean, Beetlejuice for me was it was good, but it wasn't great. right? I think that script could have used another rewrite or two to polish up and some things and clean some of those out, because there's this whole subplot in there that really didn't really go anywhere. And so
Yeah.
there's some unique characters that I would have liked to have seen that been refined a bit more. And then Deadpool and Wolverine. I had a good time watching that, but that's been on Disney Plus for months now, and I haven't fucking rewatched it. I just haven't felt a desire to.
I mean, I'm sure I'll rewatch it eventually, but the thing is, the only reason I'm going to rewatch it is because of Wolverine and the X-Men shit.
Yeah.
Like, because some of that stuff's fun. It's just like, it's really fun when you're in the moment and seeing it.
Yeah.
But then later, you're kind of like, eh. Yeah, sorry, Kitty's just. This is Darwin, and he's just wanting to boop, and he's trying to eat cables, and hey, stop it! Phone charger.
He's like, it's a me charger now. Yeah, so Deadpool and Wolverine, I really thought would, hearing about that movie and seeing the trailer, I thought that would probably hit my top 10 this year. And it was good, but it just didn't do it.
Yeah. In a Violent Nature, I had to swap out at the last minute for Alien Romulus, I decided.
Okay. That's fair.
Because I was like, shit, I think I'd like that more. Still, just because I like those movies a lot and that setting and everything. I have rewatched In a Violent Nature, and I haven't rewatched Alien Romulus yet, but
yeah. And to your point, so I saw Trap twice. So I saw it at the theater, and then I saw it at the drive-in, and the anticipation, I guess for me, what ruined that movie was when they fucking left this event center.
Yeah.
Like they hyped it up as like, how's this guy going to get out of there? And then he fucking gets out. No problem.
And then the movie
I'm
shits
like,
on itself for sure.
And then that's when that movie goes downhill from there. Like, it's a good movie, but it's not great. And to me, like, when I walked out of that, I had liked it a lot more because that first 2/3 of the movie was pretty solid.
Yeah.
Pretty fucking good. And that last part's not the worst, but it's also, when you get to that final act, it just becomes fucking so cliche. It just feels like you know how it's all going to play out. And at that point, you're just like, okay, we're just going through the motions here.
Yeah.
Trying to think of what else. Lisa Frankenstein was really a lot better than it had any right to be.
Both that and Your Monster are kind of the same type of vibe.
Yeah.
Monster. That and Nosferatu are all monster fucker movies.
Yeah. Yeah,
So.
and then, I saw a lot of stuff on there.
So was Beetlejuice, actually. It's a ghost fucker.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she's toying with the idea of it anyway.
Yeah, mulling it over. You were mulling over. I was mulling over the idea of stopping the Christmas bonuses. Yeah, so that's the 2024 movie list. So what are you going to watch tomorrow night to end the year? What's on your agenda there?
Here's the thing. Do you recall When the Substance Ends? Because she has that New Year's bash.
Fuck,
that's a new great movie to watch.
Oh man, that is a great way to end the year. Yes.
That, like, I'm just honestly, every year it's going to probably be that and Ghostbusters 2 from here on out.
I feel like those are great movies to watch after Christmas, before the New Year, or on New Year's Eve for sure. Right? Those just fall into that segment.
Yeah.
Did you, as we're recapping the year, was there anything else, any other highlights of the year that you were stoked about?
I did watch all of Squid Game season 2.
How was that?
Quite enjoy.
Okay.
I mean, I like it enough. There's definitely some cringe here and there, but in a fun way. So
I've seen some people bitching about season 2, and I didn't finish season 1. We were watching it, and I think we made 3 or 4 episodes in, and I don't know why we stopped. We need to go back and watch that. That's on our list, though.
Yeah, I rewatched it with her and recently in the first season, and then season 2 dropped on the 26th, and we kind of watched it within 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
It ends on a cliffhanger for a season 3, which they've already shot, supposed to come out in 2025. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Hopefully sooner than later. So
yeah.
A cliffhanger,
Any TV series you watched that you wanted to mention?
Other than Squid Game,
Did
I
you
don't know.
watch this? Did you watch Hysteria?
Uh-uh.
That was pretty good. That was fun.
Yeah, that Gremlins show came out like a year ago or something. I don't know.
I haven't
Never
even gotten
watched
around
it.
to watching that. Yeah, Secrets of the Mogwai. It's an animated thing, so I was like, I don't know. But I never heard anyone talking about it though.
I never even got around to watching the sequel series to the Camp Cretaceous, whatever they called it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Lots of stuff. Our season 3 of Chucky, I still need to watch too. So like,
Yeah, I got to get through all that, but
especially now that it's canceled, I'd
yeah,
really
but
like to get a hold of all of Ash versus Evil Dead as well and rewatch that.
oh, that's good. I'll talk offline on how you can get that. I'll get you helped out there. Yeah, so jump in the comments. Let us know what are your top 10 movies. I'd love to see what everyone else is and how different they are from ours. I mean, obviously, we were watching a lot of these movies, so we saw a lot of the same movies, but there's a lot of shit on my list when we covered what we watched this year that I watched that you didn't watch, and vice versa. So, with that top 10 of ours, we had some overlap there, but some differences as well.
Yeah, at least we had 5 out of 5 matched.
Yeah.
And then 2 were actually in the same spots. Well, 3.
Yeah. Well, that's to me, that's a good year for movies then, because lots of times I feel like our tastes are similar enough that we're kind of overlapping there, a little more tighter on some of these things.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was good.
Well, we'll see what 2025's got. Wolfman. Oh, it's coming out.
Yeah,
That's going to be interesting to check out.
I think that's going to be the first heavy hitter at 25 is Wolfman.
Yeah. I'm interested for sure. I really liked The Invisible Man from Lee Winnell. And hoping this one's just as good.
Yeah, I'm planning on rewatching The Invisible Man before I go see Wolfman, just to kind of get myself in the right mood and the right vibe for it.
I'm doing the original Wolfman on VHS review and then the 2009 on DVD on my channel. So it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, the 2009 is good, man. I watched that a couple months ago.
Solid.
I think I watched that around the time everyone started talking about the trailer to the new one. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go watch that other one again because I had fun with it. It's a period movie, so it's good. But man, we had a hell of a year. A lot of good movies, a lot of good content, and I'm still hoping to get the rest of the stupid audio feed updated here. And I'm not stupid audio feed, but I mean, it's just time consuming at this point. So
yeah.
But I should have that done here soon, so everyone that's not watching our pretty faces can listen to our annoying voices a little bit more.
Yeah. Oh man, I'm tired apparently. Oh shit.
Sounds like it.
Yeah, I just did a whole video about everything physical media got in December, and that was a month too.
Yeah, you've gone down the rabbit hole, deep down the rabbit hole. You basically gave up on toys this year and went straight to physical media real fucking hard. And not that you ever weren't hardcore in physical media, but you're really completely refocused.
I have over 1,000 DVDs, and Blu-rays if you count them together, and not repeats. That's not including repeats. And then if you add VHS and other stuff, it's getting ridiculous. Yeah, and I'm just got into 4Ks in the last 2 months. So
I thought you already had over 1,000 DVDs. I thought you had that back when you were.
Yeah, I did. We're trying to say, I don't know what it's at now. I haven't counted. If I had counted individual movies, there's stuff on VHS that I don't have on other formats just because I'm like, that's good enough for me.
Yeah. Well, in some movies you can't get on all the formats, right? You know, that's the crazy thing about being a physical media collector is some stuff has just never been released again. So
Dolly Parton's Smoky Mountain Christmas. I have that on VHS, and that's the only format you can get it on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there you go.
We got a question. Tony said, did you guys get the HasLab of the Ecto 1?
I got 2.
And I got 0.
Yeah, I backed 2 of those. I needed to get an Ecto 1, and then, of course, I'd be an asshole if I didn't have a 1A to go with it. And I didn't want to, change decals and change it for different times of the year. At first, I was like, I could probably do the 1A and put that up around the holidays. and then like take it back, but they're like, well, they said the stickers are repositionable and stuff like that. And I'm like, I don't want to risk that. I just want one each on fucking display.
Yeah.
So yeah, I had to get two.
Yeah, he said he did the same. Tony did.
Yeah. That's what I mean. It would be hard not to do that. But I'm also at the same point in time, like I got the two in the box and I sold my PKE meter.
Yeah.
The Matty PKE meter is my favorite of the consumer released versions. Not that the Hasbro one's not a good PKE meter, right? For anyone that didn't have the Matty collector one, that's a great PKE meter. If I didn't have it, I'd be very happy with it.
Yeah.
But since I had it to compare it to, the other one's size is more accurate to the original prop. And if I ever really want one that does that, I'll try to go and build it like the movie did. So
yeah.
Yeah, I got a PKE meter coming, or video coming soon on my channel. It's going to compare a ton of those. I just need to finish editing that so I can get that up.
Yeah,
So-
before this, I was doing. I'm working on 2 videos: the Final Destination 3 Choose Your Own Adventure video for the
Oh,
DVD,
nice. Yeah.
and then also a comparison video between the Twin Peaks Gold Definitive box set and the Blu-ray. It's comparing some shots side by side as well as the special features and talking about the special features because Tony, you can find. I believe both of our channels are just our ats under there too. Mine is Ectoviolence, and I think yours is just Mr. West Studios, isn't it? All one word.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So that's how you can find our individual channels.
Yeah.
And Instagram, whatever else.
Yeah, we'd had to refine this channel here in the last year, and we really just kind of stuck with the movie format reviews. That's the thing we've done most consistently since we started the show, and we're coming up on our 5-year anniversary this spring.
Yeah.
So we'll do some celebrations there. And I think for that 5-year anniversary, we're probably going to recover some of those first movies we did and re-talk about them now that we've got this format down a little bit better and we know what we know what works for us.
Yeah.
But man, to think that we've been doing this for 5 years is pretty wild.
For sure. And the way YouTube works, we'd honestly probably be better off just starting a new channel. I mean, but like that's just because YouTube suggests our content as toy content because that's our most viewed videos.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm surprised there's even anybody live watching us. Sometimes these get viewers, sometimes we don't. When we're actually live.
Yeah.
But we usually try to be live every Monday night or Tuesday, and if either of those nights doesn't work out, it's Thursday. We'll try to post about it more on Instagram stories, at least the day of. But
yeah, that's one thing. Since we started doing this live, it's just the thing about doing it live is it's easier. There's no post editing or anything like that. We can get the show out there. It's just less stress when we're just talking about movies, and we're trying to talk about current movies, but we kind of mix in a little bit of everything. So
my channel just finally reached the watch hours. Oh, I need to fully monetize, so I'll be making money off ads soon.
Yeah, my channel, I'd only have like 21 subscribers right now, but I really only put up, a video once a month or every other month.
Yeah.
Starting this year, so I haven't really been super focused on it because I'm also back in school. So
yeah, VHS Mikey, my Ectoviolence channel is mostly VHS stuff. Like that's what I do is review VHS tapes for the most part. I talk about everything 4Ks and DVDs as well and just new movies, but like I've just reviewed so many VHS tapes this year. I even did like some TV edit scans of like Close Encounters of the Third Kind that has commercials and stuff, and that's like the longest version of Close Encounters. It's weird shit, but VHS is my shit. So
yeah, I'm excited for more physical media. For a while I took a break from physical media just because I was doing all digital, and that's fine. Like my Voodoo library or whatever you want to call it, Movies Anywhere library is pretty significant. I've got several hundred movies in there.
Yeah, I need to put all my recent 4K buys and cash in those codes.
Yeah. And so I have a pretty good selection there. And then I just got to the point where I've seen so many of the streaming sites and services just take shit off. I mean,
and change it and do everything else.
Yeah, there's that McKenna Grace movie she did after Ghostbusters Afterlife, and I think it was on Disney Plus for like less than 30 days before they pulled that and just got rid of it.
Yeah.
Like it just disappeared. Like what the hell are you doing? Same thing with the oh man, what was it? The Willow series. That Willow TV series is just fucking gone, vanished. Like if you like that series, you can't fucking get it.
I am actually planning a video about It's Always Sunny because there's 5 episodes that Hulu has removed.
Yeah.
That you can't stream. I mean, you can find some of them on YouTube, but then they get taken down sometimes too. But if you have the DVDs, you got those episodes. And they're mostly the blackface and yellowface episodes, to be fair. But like also the point is that it's satire, so I don't know. Saying that as a white guy, again, I see I'm conflicted, but I want to be able to watch them too.
Yeah, well, and there's a lot of shows that have done that. Like anything that has like controversial episodes, a lot of those have just been removed. Like there's even a fucking episode of the TV show Bluey that was removed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you took an episode of Bluey off? Like, it's fascinating. I only know that because we watched the kids like that, at least the youngest does. And I was reading something that came up in an article the other day when I was trying to figure out the number of episodes or something. And I was like, no shit, they removed an episode of that from Disney because they thought it was controversial. So you're at a day and age where if somebody doesn't like something, if you don't own physical media of it or have it in your own like Plex server or something like that, shit's just going to disappear.
Yep.
So that's for me. I've been going through trying to get new stuff I've been trying to buy in 4K, and I've been trying to go through and get some of my favorites on 4K. But what I'm looking forward to the most in the new year is my VHS copy of Monster Squad that's coming.
Yeah, I was about to say the Rumpelstiltskin 4K sets and VHS were supposed to ship this month. It's now the 30th, and they're still waiting on the UHD discs from Germany is where they're made. And I'm like, God damn it. I want to review that shit so bad. I want to compare it to the DVD that I have, which surprisingly, I was in a Half Price Books the other day and I saw another DVD of Rumpelstiltskin. They had it for $44, which is cheaper than you can get it online for, even though that might go down after this 4K comes out.
Oh,
To
yeah.
about $40 or something, probably. I don't know.
Yeah. Did they have that in a glass case there then because of that?
No, it was just sitting on the shelf.
Oh,
That's where I got Jack Frost 2 and Ice Cream Man together
nice.
for $6.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Physical media is the way to go. It just takes up so much space.
Yeah, I'm this whole shelf is all my horror DVD and Blu-rays, and then I have like that times 2 at least sitting out there. And there's another one of these VHS shelves I'm looking at there, and then another one full over here.
Yeah.
And I have stuff in the storage unit.
Yeah, my only saving grace with my physical media is that all those DVDs I originally bought, I got rid of the cases on.
Oh, God, I want to fight you for that still, especially those snap cases.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially that rare shit. SLC Punk.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I got the movie, though, so that's all I care about. But that thing is so convenient, though, because when I want to get a movie out, I just go flip through it. And a ton of other movies I've done that with. I have all the paper sleeves that I could remove, though. So actually, that'd be a good video to do. Talk about how I fucked that up.
Yeah.
I should have saved that. Because like I had Pulp Fiction that way, like Criterion Collection. Same thing with Jackie Brown that were like those special cases that I don't have.
I have both of those still.
Yeah.
But mine didn't have the Jackrabbit insert when I bought it.
Huh.
Amber, I did a video and sorry, somebody in the comments. I guess you're not seeing these. You probably can't. But Amber says, did you guys do a video of fun stuff you got for Xmas? I love the episode you did like that a year or so ago. We have not. I did do on my channel, Ecto Violence, a December 2024 pickups. And there's a few that I got for Christmas in there.
Yeah. For Christmas this year, what did I get? I got a book from our mom that is about movies. It's like the film like snob's guide to movies or some shit like that. It's a pretty interesting read. Like she just something she found knew I'd like, so
Yeah.
I got that, and then my 2 in the box came, so I guess that was a gift to myself from last Christmas.
Yeah, I was hoping Rumpelstiltskin on 4K would be here for Christmas as a present to myself, but
Yeah,
it's gonna be my birthday. But
yeah, the wife and I didn't really do gifts for each other this year, just with kids and everything else. Man, it's been everyone fucking knows how much everything costs this year. It's been fucking insane. So we didn't do much for Christmas, so I didn't really get shit. So the only thing I have coming though is I've got a new digital camera coming that I'll be able to use to shoot for the show and just take out and do photography with. So,
yeah,
which is something I love. When I was first time I went to college, I took 3 or 4 photography classes and some other stuff. So I miss having a camera around to do those things with, and this will be nice to have. But yeah, beyond that, like didn't get much, so there wasn't much to show off.
I got the Scream 1 through 3 4K and Blu-ray box set from Mom.
Oh, nice.
That was the most significant thing from her. And then I got some stuff from Tatum. I got a robe with him from the Powerpuff Girls on it.
Oh, nice.
Cool. Which I don't know if you know, but it basically looks like a transgender demon. And
yeah, that's cool.
It's basically my vibes.
Yeah, no, beyond that, I didn't get much, but I thought at first I'd be bummed about that, but as a fucking nerdy collector, I pretty much buy shit for myself year round.
Yeah.
And so I'm not that worried about it.
I got some horror themed socks from my girlfriend's parents and a like Nightmare on Elm Street boutique candle from somebody.
Yeah. Like for our we asked for family gifts this year so we could take the kids out and do stuff. And so like that's where everything went there. So we got like a Union Station pass to go to the Science City down there, and another one to a place in town that's pretty cool for kids, and doing those types of things. Just trying to get out and do more, get out of the house more. But I would say though, I had a pretty fucking good year because I got my Ghostbusters Firehouse too. That I traded my buddy for some guitar pedals a couple of years ago, and he finally got the Firehouse in my hand, so that was awesome.
In the month of December, I also got the Labyrinth 4K disc.
Ooh, how is that?
It's not great.
Yeah, not a good transfer.
Get the Blu-ray if you can. The coloring's weird and it's grainy as fuck. And they also just announced that the disc needs replaced. So I'm actually doing a video about that on my channel at some point, like how all these companies keep recalling discs instead of having to send out replacements. This is like the 3rd or 4th one I've heard about in the last month.
Oh, really?
It's wild. Like for not just that company. I think Umbrella had an issue with their disc. Silent Night, Deadly Night, I think, was region locked when it wasn't supposed to be the 4K. Like the Labyrinth one I just heard has a glitch somewhere. I didn't even notice it because I didn't watch the full movie. I just took clips from that one just to compare a bunch of different scenes from the 4K and the Blu-ray.
So they're just not like checking the master like they should be before they're releasing this, or checking the coloring issues and color grading and stuff.
And I don't have the receipt anymore, so I'm like, oh, guess I'm not getting that new disc. Good thing I have the Blu-ray.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, that's crazy. Like, who keeps the receipts to that shit, right?
Tony says that either of you get the Extreme Ghostbusters Complete series. Here's the thing about that. We both did. And god damn it, I've been arguing at Sony and anybody I have in contact with whenever I've mentioned, like we've been just wanting this for so long. Like I love that series to death.
Yeah. So like right now on the shelf behind me, you can't see it here, but it's my Real Ghostbusters Firehouse set from Time Life Video. Now that's not the steelbooks, that's the plastic case, which I don't know why they ever did steelbooks for those when they're fucking hidden in that case anyway. That's crazy to me.
It is wild, but whatever.
But I got the one that's not that because they dropped it like $50 in price because they didn't have the steelbooks in them.
I have the first steelbook from that loose.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Like I found it at a vintage store for like $6, and I was like, because it's a steelbook, I'm gonna get it.
Yeah, so sitting right next to that is the Extreme Ghostbusters set. Sitting next to the Ultimate Ghostbusters collection, which is the Ghost Trap version that came out with Afterlife. And then all the
we did a whole video going through our Ghostbusters physical media, even soundtracks and everything on my channel. It's like 30 minutes long where it's just both of us going back and forth talking about it.
yeah, I threw up one of just all my physical media on my channel, and that obviously doesn't include, because I got the Blu-ray. I got both versions of the Steelbook for Frozen Empire. I got the 4K and the regular Blu-ray because I wanted each cover.
I have for Ghostbusters specifically, I have the original like VHS, and then I've got the 99 VHS, the 99 DVD, the deluxe DVD green set, the 2009 Blu-ray, the Steelbook for Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2 from 2016, Best Buy exclusive, and then the new Steelbook that was a 2019 release that they've just been releasing now.
Yeah.
And then
and I got the slime slipcover for that one that I got from FanFest. That's an awesome slipcover and set.
Yeah. I have various VHS too. I actually have 2 out of 3 of the Extreme Ghostbusters VHSs where they released, but people have all of a sudden realized that they exist and that they're rare, so now they get sold for way more than I'm willing to pay.
Yeah. Yeah, we're in an interesting time because a lot of the stuff that even just before or after Afterlife came out has just gone up so much in price on eBay. Crazy.
I remember when I was looking at eBay thinking, man, these Ectoglow figures are expensive, and they were $80 and $90.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, now that people are selling those for upwards of $500 a pop.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're going to get the set of that, you're looking at a couple of grand easy.
But there is, like occasionally you'll find out that I have a VHS that's worth a lot randomly. Like Disney Channel original movies can be worth a lot. I have the first Xenon Girl of the 21st Century. Is that what it's called? 31st Century? 31st Century? I don't know.
Never seen it.
You wouldn't have. You were too old at that point, but...
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Well, I just mean, it wasn't for your age group. You weren't watching Disney Channel at that point. I don't think.
Nope. Sure wasn't.
But it's
a rare release, huh?
Yeah, it's like $60 for that copy, which is pretty cool. I'm like, I got it for $1. I'm not going to sell it or anything. I like when I have things that are rare because I'm like, oh, no, I don't have to pay that much for it. That's the way I think of it. I don't think it as this is value and I could sell it for this much. I'm like, I don't have to buy it for that much.
Yeah, when you have those things that are just nice because of that. Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I haven't been looking at VHS lately. I just haven't been thrifting very much, but money's been tight, so it hasn't been a priority.
Yeah.
But I feel it, hopefully everyone else bounces back.
Buying VHS is the easiest way to express my loving of physical media and stuff because it's usually pretty cheap.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. So,
yeah, the biggest thing with that is you just got to be patient and look consistently.
I buy DVDs thrifting all the time, and Blu-rays, if they have them, I try to look through as well. So I got a copy of Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead on DVD just because I only had a VHS copy, and it's one of those movies I like but I don't love, and I'm like, I don't need a Blu-ray or anything. I'll grab the DVD for $2 from thrift store.
Yeah, that is the interesting thing with movies now, right? Is finding out what format works for you. And I think we were briefly kind of got into this the other day that there's so many people that still just buy DVD. They never went to Blu-ray. They never went to 4K. They just do DVD.
Yeah.
And, DVD never stopped. It was just cheaper, or people were on a budget. And so they're like, if I can save $5 or $10, okay.
Yeah.
I totally get that. But there's tons of movies out there that you don't need anything higher. Like, Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead. Like, I don't need a fucking 4K restoration of that movie. Who gives a shit?
4K is different for everybody, but for me, it's going to be like horror, sci-fi, some action. Has to be visually necessary or just one of my favorite fucking movies. Like Ghostbusters on 4K. I mean, Blu-ray's probably fine, let's be honest, but it's Ghostbusters. I'm going to buy the 4K.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Lost Boys maybe the same, but I think the 4K actually looked pretty good. The Thing, I don't know. I haven't compared them, but it looked fine. I mean,
Yeah, I think it's well, and the color grading varies so much too. I just wish there's more consistency there with that because the problem is with a lot of these movies, the original director's not involved anymore. So it's all just up to whoever's releasing the media to make those decisions.
If depends on the release
Yeah.
and the company involved, because like Warner Brothers, I think it's Warner Brothers who owns Nightmare on Elm Street now and is doing the physical media for those.
Oh shit.
But they are doing a new box set of that for 4K this year. That's coming out in, I think, August or September. And they found this out through barcodes being listed places and shit like that. But also, the director of Freddy's Dead, I can't remember her name, but she posted that she was working on the 4K restoration, like in the studios. So, like, sometimes it does happen if the director's willing to do it.
Yeah.
Robert Rodriguez did not do anything with the Faculty 4K. He didn't even want to do a new special features or anything and be interviewed or nothing. I heard.
Yeah.
I don't think he likes being associated with it, but I love that movie. But it's a $40 4K, so I haven't bought it yet.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just an interesting time for the physical media stuff there. Like I'm looking over at my Alf collection. I got the Alf DVDs, which everyone's like, well, they could have easily upscaled that or released it as Blu-ray at least, but doesn't need it. No, the picture quality is not going to be noticeable
Yeah.
enough in a way for you to really care. Especially for TV shows, because a lot of those other TV shows, they didn't keep the masters the same way they did. Once they digitized them, they just may not even have the physical masters anymore.
Yeah. Well, for example, some shows that they have been able to master, like that were shot on film. I think Seinfeld was one of those ones that was shot on film that they were able to upgrade to HD and widescreen. So some shots, because of that, there's like microphones and crew members and weird shit in some cases. Twin Peaks is 4:3, and I've been like today watching a bunch of Twin Peaks on DVD and Blu-ray, comparing them. So it's just fresh in my head since it's a TV show, and
the
Blu-ray looks way better for that. Like the DVD doesn't look bad, especially because I'm watching on a 4K TV. But the DVD looks better, or the Blu-ray looks better for sure. But I don't know what mastering they were doing. I don't know for sure if that was shot on film, but I feel like David Lynch would probably shoot that on film. So
if he could get away with it in the budget, for sure.
Yeah. But I think they shot it on film and then cut it down to 4:3. So
probably.
I mean,
yeah,
big budget shows were doing that at the time.
All right. Well, I think that's going to kind of wrap us up for this one, man. That was a hell of a year of movies. Really enjoyed a lot of those ones. So, like I said before, drop your top 10 in the comments, man. I'd love to hear it. Don't mind him. He's just showing off. Don't mind.
Would you like to lick my cat butt?
That's awesome. All right. Well, thanks for joining us tonight. We appreciate it. Make sure to subscribe and like below. Check out Ecto Violence over at his channel. Check out my other channel at Mr. West Studios. And we'll see you back here next week. And we'll be in the new year. We'll be in the future. We'll see you in the future.
Thanks for stopping by, Tony, Amber, VHS Mikey. I think those are the main people who were chatting with us.
Yeah. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it.
We like having people to chat with live. So we usually do this Monday nights, sometimes Tuesdays, but we'll start trying to post about it on our Instagram. Follow us there too. It's Train Little Video, if you don't already.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. Good night, everybody.
All right.
Say good night to Darwin.
Good night, Darwin.
Say good night, Kevin.
Good night, Kevin.